back. We've been on since 7 a.m. We looked at a few stories, but right now we have a chat with the man himself, KOD. Okay, I'm serious about your outfit, so please, he will leave it or go home and then
He's gonna walk out naked.
I'll make the alteration and send it to you.
And send it to me. Or you can make one in black for me.
Well, that would be nice.
That's possible,
in your
right?
face, yeah.
For me, it's actually the color that stands out for me. I really like the teal color.
I also like the color, so you can add the black to this one. But
how you guys doing, man?
Fine.
You don't believe this, like, it feels like we're live FM.
Oh,
that's totally true. Yeah. That's very true.
Yesterday,
back when
I had an interview, a short one with Black Rasta, and he was asking me about my favorite time on radio ever. I said it was live. For me, it was, yes.
Wow.
All my life.
Are we going to? Oh, it was live or your life?
Live. All my life.
Are we going to have you come back into the space? Because I saw you do the topsy-turvy yesterday.
Yeah, it was fun.
Are you going to
maybe a once a week show? But not full time.
Not full time.
It also was fun. I really loved it.
Relive those moments.
Exactly.
So is it because you want to focus fully on fashion now, or then you think that you want
that's a lot of work, you know. That's a lot of work. Let me give you my typical day. I wake up, go to Abosokai around 7 a.m., spend time there till about 1 p.m., then go take care of my appointments at the shop till about 5. In between time, run out and go to the 1927 office, you know, to handle other things, and close around 6. So when do you get to work for someone else? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, now let's talk about fashion then, since you've pivoted. You see, pivoting is a very difficult thing to do. I'm saying it because then you are stuck, or quote unquote stuck, in a certain industry where you believe that is where your purpose is, right? And then as well, you have other interests and other passions as well. Exactly. Now to fully decide that you're going to take up everything else and then juggle it all, it is quite difficult sometimes. What was that decision making process for you? And then now deciding that, all right, I'm going to put entertainment on the back burner and then fully focus on fashion, and then now progressively have a blend of entertainment and fashion.
I have always juggled stuff, you know, probably right from 1997. Even when I worked full-time on radio, in the early days of private radio, I had a record label on the side. You know, I was producing and managing Euphoria Mponsa, Kofi B, and what have you. I was in the background working with Charterhouse on the planning committee, selection committee, doing red carpet, and producing a chat show for TV. So I have always done.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I've always done
that really is a
more
lot.
than one thing. I'm not used to, I don't like being idle.
I can relate.
Yeah, I don't like being idle. So for me, it's always a challenge to be in a space where I'm doing more than one thing, you know, and doing it to the best of my ability. For me, it keeps me going. I don't like just being in one space. You wake up and you have a regimented life right from morning till evening. No. So where I find myself is quite interesting in fashion. But even with a clothing brand, we started 1957 in 2012. Terry would know. He has a history, not me. In 2012, I was still with Radio Gold in 2012 before joining EIB, and our days at Live FM, we're very busy, you know? We're very busy. We're traveling around the whole country, not just focusing on being on radio and
on air, on ground.
We're
events,
on the air. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. So in those days, it was quite difficult for me because that's the first time in my media life that I also assumed a managerial role in within the media space. I never wanted that because I always had my own thing going. I liked being around, you know, you do your 2-3 hours, you're done, and then you go home or you leave the station and go do other stuff. But for this time, I had to be present from morning, and that live we had to get in like 7 a.m. and we actually enjoyed the space too, you know, so yeah.
Okay, now for Rhythms on the Runway, it's been 12 years.
Yes,
It's
12
the 12th edition this year, right? But 14 years. Okay, so that's a long time, and I feel like we should fully applaud people who have been able to cross 5 years, 10 years in anything that they are doing, because the grit that it takes to also have that push, okay, consistency as well. What has been the drive for you for Rhythms on the Runway?
I think it's an idea we birthed 14 years ago. At the time, we didn't even know it was just a fashion show for kids.
Yeah.
The initial one.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a launch of my daughter's clothing brand. And then we decided to, extend it, you know, add friends who were in the fashion space. We started with Kwabna Kwabna and Ifia as our friends. So they were the music element of Rhythms on the Runway right from its inception. And the event kept growing. It's become a Pan-African event. How do you let that die?
Right.
You know, you can't let it. I mean, I don't think anyone would forgive me for allowing that. I can't do it. I need to keep it going. And I'm blessed with people like Terry. We have a very solid team.
I'm going to come to him on... Guys, today Terry is first host and then his guest as well. So we'll speak to him on how he's been able to...
I was telling you earlier how we were stressing when he was out of town
wasn't
briefly.
here.
It was very difficult, like different time zones, and you can't even get him. And for us, it's being consistent, it's getting the right attention beyond the shores of Africa, and you need to just keep going. Yeah.
The vision for Rhythms on the Runway, when it started and where it is now, and then where you hope to see it. I'd like you to share that with us as well, because I know that you mentioned it as a Pan-African event,
yes,
right?
That's what it's
I've been there for a few editions where I see that there are designers from all over, you know, Africa and all over the world also just coming to showcase their pieces, right? How has this been for you, the whole, the visionary process, right?
So that's exactly where we wanted it at a certain point. You know, when we went past the, I think we had the 100% GH edition in the year of COVID, and we realized, you know, there are people who have a lot of interest in Ghana beyond just coming to Ghana for Dirty December or being in Ghana for December. How do we keep that going? How do we sustain that? And Rhythms is one of them. You know, one of the events that people are very attracted to from wherever they find themselves in the world. And for us, that's one motivator as well. And the fact that we get to sell Ghana beyond the shores of this country, you know, the fact that we get to attract international media organizations like Deutsche Welle, like the BBC, they call Rhythms on the Runway, the biggest cultural expose in Africa. It's a big deal. And that keeps us focusing on the vision, you know, of having it as a Pan-African event. And I'm happy to say that next year, I was telling Terry a couple of days ago, we're getting out of here for the very first time. We're going to Angola. Yep, we're going to Angola.
Yes.
Next year is their
bags.
50th anniversary. Angola at 50.
Okay.
And, you know, they've been following Rhythms for some time.
That's really interesting, right? And then also that will be a very good market for you as well.
It is. And that's exactly how we wanted it. You know, that's exactly how we wanted it. Just get it out of Ghana, get it out there. If we're able to attract some major...
I'm sure that'll be a door opener for you for other African countries as well, progressing from Angola. It will just keep going and going. And then outside of Africa as well. I'm seeing
Why not?
That.
Let's do that. I mean, because the event is for not just Africa, but Africans in the diaspora as well. You know,
it's truly Pan-African.
It is very Pan-African.
But talking about people knowing about it, I want to know your promotional strategy. How do you get people from the diaspora, people from outside to have interest in Rhythms on the Runway?
Last year, for instance, we honored Morgan Heritage.
Okay.
That alone, you know, gives you that attention in the Caribbean. I believe the year before we honored Lisa Hanna.
Lisa Hanna
as a former Miss World
1993.
1993, and I'm a member of parliament in Jamaica.
Okay.
You know, and they have an interest in Ghana. You know, so attracting like the Caribbean has not become a big deal. You know, just this morning I woke up and I got like an endorsement from Barbados. Yeah, Barbados, and you know they are interested in Rhythms on the Runway.
Okay.
I think their Independence Day is actually on the date of Rhythms on the Runway.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're looking at how we're able to collaborate in future.
And
Yeah.
sing.
But just to add to his, we've also had fashion designers from all across the world. Mary Martin London, who's actually from England as well. She's come. We've had Custom Looks, who does both Ghana and the United States, among others who have actually also showcased, you know, their works from the diaspora down here to the African continent. So there's that merger all the time that makes us, you know, what we are, the unique fashion show that we are within the space that we find ourselves. But that's not all. Rhythms on a Runway also collaborates with a lot of people, like One Village, where we have Chandra. She does a lot of non-governmental work and tries to aid people, especially where she could establish certain capacities that would help Africans, you know, especially those who are underserved. So all these things are the bits and pieces that comes together to make Rhythms on a Runway
Sometimes
what it really
it actually
is.
goes beyond even fashion.
Yes,
you know, just
absolutely.
bits and pieces. You know, a bit of politics, but not hard politics, but as in political decisions.
I think I even saw that last year.
Yeah,
right?
as in like political decisions.
They played it subtly in there.
Yeah,
I saw that. But Terry, in handling the entire project, right, being the front when it comes to communication and all of that, how would you say it's been like getting these sponsors on board? Because 12 years and then having to still push through with it, it won't be easy, still laying your cards on the table to say that this is my product, I believe in it so much, I want you to also, you know, believe in it and then back us with your money.
So the thing is, it's such an adventure each time we talk about sponsorship because you're dealing with companies who have different timelines for when to fork out money. Some also have very different directions and visions from what you are, and getting to, you know, sort of convince them beyond all reasonable doubt to get some amount of money from them is sometimes very tricky. I won't lie. And marketing in and of itself, this is not even just communication, but also marketing. It's a very tricky terrain to be on because, again, you never know when someone might close the door and when the next door would open. Yes, but you have to keep doing what you're doing all the time. Make sure that even beyond all these odds or against the odds, you're still pushing in for them to see the need for them to also, you know, collaborate, invest in what you're doing. And that's the reason we're going beyond the borders of fashion. We're also incorporating social impact initiatives into whatever we do.
And
last year,
as well.
And the entertainment factor as well. But we're looking beyond the borders of entertainment. We're also trying to give back to society. We're trying to create awareness, educate people, sensitize people, motivate people to do the right thing. We have subtly touched on so many, you know, societal issues that affect Ghana as a whole that I can't really mention. But of course, we've even talked about, you know, the whole illegal mining activities, ocean pollution last year, ocean pollution, et cetera, et cetera. So these are the things that certain companies look forward to and look out for because they want to see people or agencies that are becoming cataracts for change. Not just people who are there to play music and entertain people or just, you know, even in and of itself, the music and the fashion bit is also a very important aspect of it. Let me not undermine that because we're looking at the fact that we are projecting the creative and orange economy of Africa to the rest of the world.
And the blend is really important.
Very, very essential to making Rhythms on the Runway what it is today. So for me, all these, again, intricacies of Rhythms on the Runway makes it special, but not just special, also makes it a reason for every company who would join to give us something meaningful to project Rhythms on the Runway so we could also project Africa.
Right. Now, it's interesting when you say that the conversations when it comes to the sponsorships are not easy, right? I'm going to come to you, KOD, on that because how I see KOD is someone who has great connect, right? I do. There's no number that I need that I'll ask KOD that he will not
Apparently
have.
Everyone knows you.
Listen, there is no number. When I'm looking for whoever's number, and I hit him up.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have it, it doesn't exist.
Thank you. He
End
will
of
send
story.
it right away. And so that is saying that the connections that you have built over the years, what was that intentionality for you? How have they also helped you? And so that's why I'm saying I'm surprised when he says that, it's difficult getting sponsorships and all of that, right? So the difficulty of that, the connections that you have built over time, how are you able to merge it all to just make sure that you are also now optimizing first the brand and then the product and then the event?
Now, let me chip in quickly
Right.
before and say this for him. You see, having a connect is not an entitlement. You still need to put in the
Yes,
work.
yes.
So it starts from there.
Okay,
You
okay.
have to. And I have been very intentional about relationships because I am a product of many people, let me use the word benevolence over the years, and also being intentionally there for many people over the years. So especially people in the corporate space, even when I go and they don't really have, it's like, okay, we can't give you 10, but well, let's give you 5.
Right.
Because we know that you'd also break your back and make sure you give us exactly what you promised. And we're very intentional about that because we don't look at just an opportunity to work once and that's it. We're looking at a sustained relationship. I believe in relationships. So once we present something to you and we promise to give you X, Y, Z, we make sure that, we do that so that if we come knocking at your door next year, you won't say no to us. So that when we come knocking at your door next year, you say, oh, because you kept your word, I'm actually increasing the funds I gave you the previous year. But then again, exactly. But then again, I think generally most corporate institutions are going through a very low time, and when you're struggling to even pay your staff, it's quite difficult to decide that you're sponsoring an event. And
understandable. That's
exactly, it's quite a challenge. So, and plus, there are many corporate organizations who, what do you promise them? An experience for attendees. Okay, maybe if they decided to have something like that, have their own event, they'd probably spend less. That's how some people think.
Look at it,
And in the last maybe 10 years, most corporate organizations have in-house agencies. If you've paid attention to that.
Right.
So they organize their own events.
They do their own thing. And then also, I think, do you also think, we say a thing here where we say that we have to give these brands value beyond putting their logos on these artworks.
So I spoke about experience.
Yes.
So we give you an experience.
It's why I'm asking that. Do you think that somehow creatives have also shortchanged ourselves by not making sure that these brands get that needed experience that they need to get? And so that's why
the general narrative out there when you speak to sponsors or potential sponsors, that's what it is. That people promise so much, but then when it comes to delivering, they're not able to
deliver what they promise.
And the truth is, you have to have your sponsors on speed dial at every point in time. And sometimes they come with quite the measure of demands. And you have to meet them.
He's read many of our contracts.
Oh, yes. And sometimes when you're reading the contract, like your head starts to, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like scrolls of paperwork.
Yeah, scrolls of paperwork.
That you have to fill. Each one is so intricate and it's,
and especially
it is not
when
an
you're
easy
dealing
task,
with,
trust me.
Multinational organizations, not like small businesses in Ghana, but multinational. It's not.
Totally understandable because then everybody also wants their grounds covered, right?
Of
and
course, to protect their interests.
Demands, exactly, and also protect their interests. But let me applaud you, KOD, and then Terry as well, because I know that the two of you have been at this for a really long time.
Mostly him.
So, mostly him.
Aaron,
and the whole team.
Huge team.
Yes.
Team. I doff my hat to you because it's not an easy thing.
It's
okay.
not.
So the event is on Saturday. Where do we get tickets? How much are the tickets going for? What time is it starting? What is that experience that we as consumers should also look forward to?
So in the spirit of sustainability, we chose kente. Kente is not something you just wear once and shelf.
Yes.
Okay, well, maybe you shelf it literally, but you don't throw it away after some time and say, I'm tired of wearing this, I want to, give it out. You rarely do that. It's something that's passed on from generation to generation. aside that, we also thought about the time we find ourselves in as a country. We decided in January that we're going to have, usually Rhythms is the first event as part of December in Ghana. And for this year, we decided to do like a week before because of elections. So we're doing 30th of November. And we chose Kente as our theme because of what it represents, you know, different colors, different patterns, woven together to become one beautiful cloth. Different people, different walks of life.
Preaching unity.
You know, exactly.
Togetherness.
Togetherness.
Oh, I like
that's
that.
why we chose Kente. And
they're relevant to the elections.
Yeah,
very. That's what I'm saying. I like that.
I know people probably wouldn't even connect Kente to the elections, but it does. You know, like no matter what we do, we should be very intentional about preserving and sustaining this beautiful country that we have. No matter the highs and lows we go through. Listen, no matter how much fun you have out there, at the point you want to come back home and you miss home.
Yes.
Except that you get back and you're like, baby, what was I missing? You know, but it's always fun, great to be back home in Ghana. And this is the only country we have. So we chose the theme of Kente. To,
One Ghana.
Yeah, One Ghana.
One Ghana. So, Terry, ticket prices, where to get the tickets and all of that.
So we have our premium tickets that cost 400 Ghana cedis, and we also have the standard tickets that cost 200 Ghana cedis. And, well, if you want to get these tickets, you could dial *714 *1957 hash. That's *714 *1957 hash. Now, well, we're going digital, so it makes it easier for you to pay. You don't have to always run around looking for like point of sales to get
but
that.
you know there are people who still want to hold their tickets.
Right? So
yes. I saw several videos of you
initially
saying
when
that.
we started promoting it, the last 2 years, we decided to just go, online and sell.
Yeah.
People know, Charlie, we want to hold our tickets.
Yeah, we're trying to be a little ahead of our time.
Exactly.
You get it. For people to start
I
immersing
get that.
themselves in the digital age.
I think that's also like a generational thing because
True.
for the older generation, they are used to
The hard
their
copy.
hard copy. So
They don't play with that.
they don't play with that.
Yeah,
so.
but also you can scan a QR code. If you actually get on the social media platforms at Rhythms on the Runway, you could find lots of flyers where we have QR codes on there. Once you scan it, it enables you to access the website, www.rhythmsonarunway.com, and then, of course, you could purchase your ticket there as well. So that makes it very easy and seamless for you, especially for the Gen Zs who don't like walking from their homes to any place to get things done.
It's how you just use right
Exercise.
over. Yeah, right over. Well, I can say to you that I have been at a few editions and I've seen it get better and better over the years. If you've never been at any, please come, have some fun, enjoy the music, just look at all of the fashion pieces and then get your ideas if you want to purchase, if you want to just meet new people, network, and have a good night.
No,
it's on Saturday.
We're very heavy on networking.
On networking,
Yeah,
yes.
It's very important.
Yes.
It's very important.
Very extremely.
I mean, the green carpet starts at 6 o'clock. We're looking at starting the event by 7:30.
Right.
People think we're never late, or we're not noted for
always
that.
on time.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
true.
always on time,
True.
you know. We actually start setup today, so we don't have any reason to be late.
I think we are missing out on one thing, the venue.
Oh,
Venue, a lot actually, I was going to say.
a lot, yeah, a lot.
Yeah, we're missing out on a lot because we have a number of designners
honorees,
coming
yeah,
through, the
the
Black Star
honorees.
honorees
Okay, so let's
as well.
just take us through
Yes.
that then.
So we have the likes of, I'm not going to mention everything because we're short, for time, but just a few of them. We have Yao's Creation, we have Selena Bebb coming through. We also do have Velma Accessories, Ophelia Crossland, Custom Looks Clothier. So there are quite a number of designers. We also look at artistes because the night is never complete without the music.
Exactly.
We're looking at surprise acts that I don't want to mention. You have to buy your ticket and come with
But are they Ghanaian?
the splendor. Oh yes,
Okay.
they are Ghanaian. So yes, some are.
Well,
so
most
yes,
of them are Ghanaian.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but from the United States, we have Michael Stuckey, who would be there to also perform. There will be a little performance from BB Brew as well. So we're looking forward to that. Oh yes. So for those of you who like some BB Brew, you know exactly what to do. There's also a Manziba coming through. There's Episode there as well. So there's quite a plethora of artists that both new and old, from the creme de la creme, to what we call the emergent acts.
I want to stress on Episode what he's doing that's quite different this year.
Yes.
We all know Episode as the performer, the musician.
But he has a
Yes.
clothing line.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's when he officially outdoors it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay. I hope I don't miss that.
So it would be
I hope I don't
exquisite.
miss that. That would be really, really nice. And then also
Absolutely.
being that he is a musician as well. So having to perform and then outdoor your clothing
So,
line
I mean,
at the
you'd
same
see him
time.
performing and his clothing, like the models will be going up and down. You know,
Oh.
This clothing line is
Stratton,
called the Black
Stratton,
Tribe.
Yeah, the Black Tribe.
Very interesting name. Yes.
Oh,
We're
that's
actually
really,
looking
really
forward
nice.
to that. Yes.
Okay. Now, for those who want to attend, where are they coming to on Saturday for Rhythms on the Runway, the
Grand
Kente edition?
Arena is the place to be. Like I said, 6 p.m. sharp. We're looking at a great
We are back
networking
to
session.
the Grand Arena.
Yeah, back to the Grand Arena. Great network session, and show should start by 8 p.m. Yeah.
Okay. 8 p.m. You heard him. So Runway 6 by 7:30. The runway should be done. The actual show should start by 8 p.m.
As in the networking and cocktail session. Should be done by 7:30.
7:30
And quickly before you wrap up, it's very important for us to mention that there would also be a moment where we get to honor and extol some people who have contributed massively, not just to the creative economy in Africa, but just African continent in general, because they're doing so many marvelous works. Now we have people the likes of Bibi Brew herself. We also do have Ejako Nimo coming through. We are also awarding Kwabna, which I'm sure a lot of the youngins would love to see. Yes, and then we also have Chief Dele Momodu as well.
I know that KOD has a really great relationship.
He has never
with
missed
Chief
Rhythms
Dele
from
Momodu.
day one.
Exactly.
No matter where he finds himself in the world, he makes sure he's part of Rhythms on the Runway. And he's, our connect, especially to Nigeria, has always been through him. Bringing like media organizations to come film.
Very well facilitated.
He
Awesome.
really supports us.
I'm looking forward to it. And KOD, again, congratulations on the franchise and good job to you all. And the
don't forget to wear your touch of Kente.
Just a hint of it.
A touch of Kente, guys.
I actually like it when the
duku.
The duku. I love it. Like, well, whatever, but that big duku like Akuma.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay. Bring your touch of Kente, guys. It's Saturday, Rhythms on the Runway, the Kente edition, and we'll see you there on Saturday. Remember to grab your tickets and come have a great time.